do some thinking with your sales partner, your customer success partners, your account management partners. Figure out the programs where you all will benefit. Like they say, like do more with less, but actually like do fewer things. But then more of you can benefit. Choose those initiatives so you can pull your resources in, and then everyone actually acts on those programs.
Okay, another session here at Demo Stack Studios. Trinity, why don't you introduce yourself, tell the audience what you do for your company.
So my name is Trinity Nguyen. I am the VP of Marketing and Account Development at UserGems. That's what I do, run marketing and basically generating pipeline for the sales team.
Perfect. And I know I've heard amazing things about UserGems. If you can give us a quick little a pitch around what it is that you do.
Absolutely. So UserGems, we track your key contacts when they change their jobs because we know the previous champions more likely, 3 times more likely to buy you again. So these are like the warmest, hottest leads your marketing team and sales team can expect. And when they land in a new company, people don't buy alone. We also identify the rest of the buying group at the target account and surface all the information directly into your CRM to help your marketing and sales team to go after these folks.
Yes, I've heard many sales reps say these are the best leads that come across my desk. I love UserGem leads. So great, let's jump into it. So I know there has been a lot of doom and gloom right now, right? A lot of marketers are going back to the drawing board. Their marketing budget is being scrutinized quite heavily and often aiming to tie back to revenue. So is there anything that you can share with maybe other marketers there that you can help them craft their message, how to position and tie it back to revenue?
The way I see it, and also kind of like how we run our marketing team at UserGems from beginning is, so a lot of folks kind of thinking marketing is top of the funnel, generate awareness, bring people in, and then you pass over to the sales team. Mm-hmm. But the way we do it is like until they turn into revenue, the marketing team hasn't done a good job. So from the beginning, we always work very, very closely with the sales team and the now account development team to make sure that we pass the right type of pipeline over to the sales team, but also we monitor all the way until they close. Maybe we monitor a bit too much. Hopefully I'm not like stepping on too many toes, but until like if I'm investing in events, I'm investing in account-based marketing, I'm investing in anything. If it can't draw at least a dotted line to the revenue, then we usually kind of scrap that and then do it start beginning again.
Yeah. So let's talk about that because I think often, and I love what you said of like you're following all the way through close.
Yeah.
And I think that's unfortunately still maybe a KPI function, maybe marketers not looking down funnel enough. Sometimes their key metric is just form fills or demos booked, but they're not even necessarily seeing, hey, was that demo held? If it was held, is it qualifying into pipeline? So looks like you're looking at that and you said maybe a little bit too much. Can you give us a little insight into what it is that you're tracking from like a stage progression or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So from the kind of like in my mind, like tactical from marketing standpoint, the way we structure it is my head of demand is measured by sales accepted pipeline. So it's not the leads. It's not the discovery calls completed. It's actually like much middle of the funnel for sales.
That's great.
To be sales accepted pipeline. So that's from the demand gen side.
Yeah.
The account development reps are held to the disco call completed, but they also count on the revenue close. They get a percentage of that. So aligning ADR and AE. So we've been setting that up. From my end, when I evaluate which channel has been has been good enough for us to keep and scale, so I look at the efficiency. So the way I look at it is I look at the past, like say, 50 close ones in the last, say, month or something, and then kind of trace back to all the touch points. So we don't do attribution because that's another conversation.
Yep.
There's no perfect attribution.
For sure.
But what I'm trying to figure out is like these 50 close ones, what did we do to touch them? Is it that ADR touching them at some point? So the ADR team has 1 point, ABM, another point. Is it like a content search or something? So basically I attribute every single thing back to these 50 deals and then measure how much we spend total, not just a program, but also headcount. So my goal right now is every dollar of marketing and ADR spend, we generate at least $10 to $15 in revenue. And then I kind of like measure every initiative against that. If it doesn't hit that goal, I'm going to go back to the drawing board.
This is amazing because I've never heard of a point system. I think the way you're looking at it, the way you set out goals, I love it. I've never heard anything like that. So definitely something for our audience to think about. So thank you for sharing that. At UserGems, maybe how much pipeline is marketing responsible for?
I'd say around 90 to 95%. Some of our
Wow.
AEs still love prospecting, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So they do source some of their opportunities and close one. So I'd say about like 5 to 10% is AE sourced. The rest is marketing and account development. Marketing and account development go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Actually, like talking about our first initiative that works to help us scale to this point is actually ABM or ABX. So marketing and ADRs always work hand in hand with generating pipeline. And we really align that front. So that's how we can confidently say that we generate 90 to 95% of the pipeline.
This is fantastic. I love that. Uniting a little bit more of the top of funnel, right?
Yeah.
And seems like you're in lockstep. Does the ADR team report to marketing?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, that's another topic.
I know.
Yeah, it's a hot topic.
It is. It is. I know. We got into it with a couple other guests. Now I'm curious, and without knowing UserGems product suite necessarily, I know for a lot of marketers and really just the macroeconomic conditions, right? The budgets are being cut, headcount freezes. There's not a lot of net new buyers and a lot of people actively searching. Has your shift from a marketing perspective looked at your customer base and trying to expand them, or is it still a lot of net new that you're responsible for?
We're figuring that out. So we're trying to do the expansion play, upsell. I think every marketer I talked to, at least the last few weeks, everyone's trying to figure out this play, like how to do it well.
Yeah.
It's funny because like a year and a half or so, a year ago, talking to any B2B marketer, nobody really thinks about post-sales that much. There's like customer marketing, but that's pretty soft, like some events, some newsletter. But now everybody I talk to is trying to figure out how to do expansion and upsell. So we're still testing. We don't know yet if it's repeatable. We're trying to figure out.
Sure.
One thing we're trying to do is like when someone new, like the right title, joining a customer account, then it could potentially be a churn risk depending on their role.
Sure.
So that's a flag for our CSM to be like, hey, stay alert, making sure that you multi-thread, reach out, and then prove your ROI or show the ROI we've been generating. So we're working with the CSM on that. And
that's, I'm guessing you're using UserGems. You're drinking your own champagne, as we like to say.
Yes, from day one, actually. Yeah. The entire product suite. So I've been around the block a few times working with different companies.
Sure.
And I remember telling to my CEO, because when I joined, I was the first marketer. So I also did the sales development myself. And I remember telling the CEO, if I didn't have UserGems, I would have quit. It was so hard to do prospecting and finding contacts and finding the leads that want to talk to you.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm not a salesperson. So it was, so we use UserGems extensively across marketing, advertising, and also from the SDR and AE and CSM, everyone using it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's going back to the expansion play. I guess you're also, is it expansion within a subsidiary that you're tracking, or like I know you're also tracking kind of champions that have used UserGems and now have gone at, would that still be expansion, or you categorize that as net new?
So expansion for us is, there's two. There's the upsell side. So the CSM is driving that. We have triggers to kind of know when an account is ready.
Okay.
But what I'm focusing on, like a cross sale. So we have multiple products.
Got it.
Or we can talk to different departments. So now usually marketing and sales would be kind of like our ICP.
Yeah.
But then we start seeing that, CSM right now is trying to figure out when the champion leaves because it's a churn risk.
Yeah.
So that potentially like a cross-sell opportunity to the different department. And we have multiple products, so we can also upsell from product A to product B. So we're driving a bunch of these. Yeah.
This is, very top of mind for me as well. Probably a bunch of other marketers. The expansion, the cross-sell, the upsell. So I know from the perspective of like marketing budgets being cut, headcounts being frozen, what would your advice be to marketers in terms of maybe what they should stop focusing on? And my follow-up would be what's something they should start doing?
No, I think just kind of going back to there's less budget. So maybe trying to figure out programs where you can pool your budget with other teams. So like, for example, account-based marketing. You can get account-based marketing and selling done without buying a lot. So just kind of like do some thinking with your sales partner, your customer success partners, your account management partners. Figure out the programs where you all will benefit so that you can pull your resources in. Not a lot of people do that, surprisingly.
Yeah, no, it's true. I'm sitting here being like, that's how can I join forces with account management or sales in terms of the customer marketing side? So it's a great tip.
They say do more with less, but actually do fewer things. But then more of you can benefit. Choose those initiatives so you can pull your resources in, and then everyone actually acts on those programs.
Yeah.
Instead of going off doing their own things. So that's one way of pulling in. But then you're going to get more results as long as you are aligned and agree with each other.
I can't emphasize this enough. This is such a great point, right? Because so many teams do think of themselves in a silo, but this also creates such a good foundation for, hey, once we get out of this, by the way, now we're all aligned across the buying journey, and now we can build upon this. So I love the way you're looking at it through this lens of almost opportunistic of, okay, we can't do as much. Let's hunker down, but let's make sure everyone that's part of the revenue team is aware of what we're doing and hunkering down on that. So that's great.